Yo, what it is again is Monday.
Man.
Get up, get at it with a smile.
Man.
Yep, and welcome to another weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News. Being presented to you by Serpo, your favorite smoking partner.
Make sure you stay elevated with Big J.
Yep, and it's always sponsored by that glue guard. Get you some glue guard, and I promise you will not be smoking spit.
No drip lip.
Yep, and an American basketball player arrested in Indonesia for cannabis and could face. We're going to see what he can face inside of this article.
Yeah.
But an American basketball player, Jared Dwayne Shaw, was arrested in Indonesia earlier this month for allegedly smuggling cannabis-infused candies into the country. NBC News reports.
Always
You know what I'm saying?
News shit, huh?
Yeah, always. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Best Way to Smoke Weekly News. Always tell you, be aware of your surroundings, aware of where you're going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, the Southeast Asian nation, that's cold. That kind of
Right.
The Southeast Asian nation's strict drug laws include severe punishment for drug-related charges, including potentially execution by firing squad. So this young man that got cracked with some infused gummies, you know what I'm saying? And it's pretty much like a death penalty if you go in by firing squad. You know what I'm saying? Go down there at the end of the range. You know what I'm saying? And me and all my partners, you know what I'm saying? We finna have, you know what I'm saying, target practice.
Click, clack.
You know what I'm saying? But Shaw, originally from Dallas, Texas, was arrested earlier this month, which May 7th, you know what I'm saying, following a police raid on his apartment outside the capital city of Jakarta. Police said they seized 132 cannabis candies during the raid, enough for prosecutors to seek life imprisonment or the death penalty.
Damn.
The report says the candies were believed to have been shipped from Thailand, where cannabis has been decriminalized. In a video circulated on social media capturing the lead up to Shaw's arrest, the 34-year-old was seen shouting "help" as he was taken by the police.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So you got somebody from Dallas, Texas. You know what I'm saying? You know, Texas is having their own little issues with legalization. But that's for flowering things. You know what I'm saying? But you out here for some gummies. And it was enough potency or enough gummy bears, gummy worms, whatever the hell it was, for you to get the firing range.
Man, that's a cold one right there. The firing squad on
Hold on. Before we leave, this is in Indonesia.
And listen to the name. So if you're
traveling to Indonesia, you don't need ya. Shit.
Oh, man. Hey, yeah, that's crazy, though. But look, a Minnesota study reveals significant sleep apnea improvement with medical cannabis. And for those of us that already indulge, we know this already, though. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get some good sleep, though. You feel me?
Sure.
Look, St. Paul, Minnesota, a groundbreaking study. They calling this groundbreaking. Conducted by the Minnesota Office of Cannabis Management indicates that medical marijuana can lead to a significant improvements for patients suffering from obstructive sleep apnea, OSA. The extensive research, which analyzed data from over 3,100 patients enrolled in the state's medical cannabis program between August 2018 and July 2023, is being held as the largest of its kind on medical cannabis and OSA. Hey, look, and we just reported on this last week talking about Doge, you know what I'm saying, trying to take away cannabis research and stuff like that, though. The findings demonstrate that nearly 40% of patients with moderate to severe disturbed sleep experienced at least a 30% reduction in their symptoms within 4 months. If you blow on the right woo-wop, you're gonna feel it the first time you blow on it. You know what I'm saying? Of being medical cannabis treatment. And were able to maintain this improvement for at least an additional 4 months. Grace Christensen, OCM Senior Research Analyst, I hope I said her name right, though. My bad.
I believe so. Know. She knows she is.
You know what I'm saying? Highlighted that these numbers show meaningful changes in disturbed sleep and fatigue for patients after starting medical cannabis. Beyond sleep quality, The study also observed relief in other common symptoms among OSA. Patients with over a third reported improvements in co-occurring depression and anxiety. We know this, man. Cannabis helps with a lot of things. We need to keep the research going so we could keep finding out more things about this good plant.
I wonder who those patients were. I wonder where they're in like the urban neighborhoods.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we could have told y'all that already.
Already. Off the rip. You know what I'm saying?
All right, back in Cali, man. California seizes $123.5 million of illicit cannabis. That's crazy, Cali.
Man.
The Office of California Governor Gavin Newsom announced that the state's Unified Cannabis Task Force, dedicated to stopping illicit cannabis operators, seized 105,000 plants and 22,000 pounds of illicit cannabis products during a enforcement action earlier this month. Officials said it was the task force's largest cannabis seizure yet, with the estimated $123.5 million in total value. You know what I'm saying? So if this is illicit, you know what I'm saying, it's $123 million. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine, you know what I'm saying, the money that like the collective made, but it seemed like it just one seizure.
Right.
But if they seize this much, you know what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure you have the coin to like get it legit.
Man.
And they wouldn't be taking no
that much. Yeah, with that much.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, and I could be assuming.
Right.
We got some people that like, man, they be getting lowballed, blackballed, whatever type of shadiness towards them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In that field.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just think like shit, 123 million.
Man, that's a lot to make something happen.
Let this be a reminder to all who grow cannabis illegally. We won't tolerate the undermining of our legal industry and impacts to our environment. I appreciate the multi-agency cross-county efforts to take on the illicit market. Now, the illicit market can be dangerous, you know what I'm saying, for officers. You know, you go to a big spot, man, them must probably be up in there with like, you know what I'm saying, some super soaker water guns. Right. You know what I mean? So, like, man, it, like you see they cracking down. You seeing it's like reports is coming out. You can go on your social media, you know what I'm saying, and see like, man, let's get it right, kind of business.
Man, on the real. GOP lawmakers launch probe into federal workers' alleged marijuana purchases with government credit cards. You know what I'm saying? So this
alleged, bro.
Look, this Doge, you know what I'm saying? This Doge, you know what I'm saying? They wanna keep cutting. Washington, D.C., Republican lawmakers in both the House and Senate are calling for a sweeping investigation into whether federal government employees have been using their taxpayer-funded credit cards at high-risk merchants, including establishments that sell marijuana. This push comes on the heels of Department of Defense Inspector General audit that flagged approximately 11,000 suspect transitions at various questionable businesses such as casinos and bars, though it did not specify site cannabis purchases. They just trying to find a reason to fuck with the woo-wah. You know what I'm saying? Senate Doge Caucus Chair Johnny Ernest, Republican, and House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer jointly announced their demand for the Government Accountability Office they got all these different branches though, you know what I'm saying? Look, to undertake a comprehensive inquiry. While the DOD audit did not identify any specific instances of federal funds being spent on cannabis, marijuana dispensaries, or among the categories deemed high risk by the lawmakers, alongside businesses ranging from adult entertainment venues to fortune tellers, the GOP leaders emphasized the need for a thorough assessment to identify systematic risk and restore accountability to federal charge card programs, citing concerns over tens of billions in taxpayer funds at stake. each year. They just want the money for themselves. You feel me? Misuse of government credit cards can lead to severe penalties, including reprimand, suspension, termination of employment, and even criminal prosecution, with employees also held personally liable for unauthorized charges. You know what I mean? I think they just fishing and doing a little bit too much. It's a whole bunch of other shit they could be paying attention to.
Can I I just want to y'all tell me too though, you know what I'm saying? Even though you mentioned cannabis up in there wasn't no cannabis purchase
At all.
So why in the hell is they grouping that with cannabis
With that,
news?
right.
I don't know. It just made me wonder a little bit. But, you know what I'm saying? I can see the concern of everything else, but that don't have nothing to do with cannabis.
Right. Leave it alone.
Why are they fucking with it?
Man.
Minnesotans. Minnesota bill to set up adult use cannabis industry moves to the governor. You know what I'm saying? So with the fight that they've been putting up, you know what I'm saying? The governor got it now. Minnesota lawmakers have delivered a proposal to Governor Tim Walz. He's a Democrat. It came across his desk that changes the state's cannabis legalization law and established the state's adult use market. So that's meaning like the adult use, that's us recreational users. I'm a recreational user and a medical user.
Man.
My doctor just won't tell y'all what's my problem. The Minnesota House on Saturday passed omnibus. Just leave it right there. Cannabis policy bill that makes changes to the state's adult use cannabis law and will set up the marketplace, moving it to Governor Tim Walz for his signature. The bill passed the state Senate earlier this month. The bill creates a lower potency hemp wholesaler license, allows individuals with adjudicated cannabis-related sentence to be social equity applicants. Well, when they say adjudicated, that means it's like you did your sentence, you came home, you did some stuff to clear some things up, and now, okay. It allows vendors to provide samples at cannabis events, allows manufacturers in Minnesota to export low potency hemp products out of the state that aren't complement in Minnesota. Allows testing facilities to begin testing while in the accreditation process, and allows the beverage to be on serving with no more than 10 milligrams of THC. You understand? So for recreation, Minnesota, you know what I'm saying, it's like they starting to do some things for us. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say us. I ain't never been to Minnesota, but I'm just saying us because I like cannabis. You know what I'm saying? We could do a lot better. Thankfully, this bill does help. We have a helplessly convoluted regulatory system based on this fantasy that you can create and craft cannabis market based on government regulation. You kind of can.
Yeah.
If you listen to those who indulge.
Hey, look, I like that, but they need to up that THC more past that 10%.
Yeah.
Though,
but I see y'all, though. Y'all taking baby steps.
On everything.
Taking baby steps. Maybe next year the potency will go up.
10 more.
You can be elevated with this guy.
Man.
That's another weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News with Circle, your favorite smoking podcast.
Make sure you stay elevated with Big J.
Baby.